Most people think explaining themselves makes them look honest, mature, and reasonable. But in reality, over-explaining often does the opposite. It makes you look uncertain. It makes you look defensive. And worst of all, it teaches people that you are seeking their approval. Powerful people understand something most never learn. Not everyone deserves an explanation. And the more you try to make certain people understand you, the more control you give them over your emotions. There is a difference between clear communication and unnecessary explanation. Clear communication is strength. Over-explaining is often fear wearing the mask of politeness. People explain themselves too much when they are afraid of being misunderstood, rejected, judged, or disliked. But the truth is harsh. Some people already decided how they want to see you. No explanation will change that. In fact, the more you speak, the more material you give them to question, twist, or use against you. So, in this video, we'll break down why you should stop explaining yourself so much, what silent power really means, and how calm restraint makes people respect you more. 1. Over-explaining signals insecurity. When you keep adding more reasons, more details, and more justifications, it often tells people one thing: you are not fully confident in your own position. Think about it. Someone says, "Why did you do that?" A calm person says, "Because that was the best decision for me." An insecure person keeps going for 2 minutes, trying to prove they are not wrong, not selfish, not careless, not bad. The more desperate the explanation becomes, the more people feel your need for validation. And once people sense that need, the power shifts. Because now you are no longer simply making a decision, you are asking for permission. Silent power begins when you realize that confidence does not always defend itself. Sometimes it simply decides. 2. Not everyone is asking to understand you. This is one of the hardest truths to accept. Some people ask questions not because they care, but because they want access to your mind. They want to study your emotions. They want to see if they can make you doubt yourself. To them, your explanation is not information. It is an opening. When someone has bad intentions, every extra sentence becomes something they can challenge. Every clarification becomes another chance for them to drag you into a conversation that weakens your position. This is why strong people learn to recognize the difference between curiosity and control. A sincere person asks to understand. A manipulative person asks to gain leverage. And if you cannot tell the difference right away, silence is often safer than overexposure. 3. The more you explain, the more you invite debate. Every long explanation sounds like a courtroom argument. And the moment you start arguing your right to feel, choose, leave, refuse, or protect your peace, people unconsciously assume your decision is negotiable. That is the danger. When you say too much, you create the illusion that the other person has a vote in your boundaries. For example, saying, "I can't come because I've been really stressed, and I have a lot going on, and I need some time, and I hope you understand," sounds uncertain. But saying, "I won't be able to make it, take care," ends the discussion. One sounds like a request to be excused. The other sounds like a decision. Power often lives in fewer words. 4. Silence forces people to reveal themselves. When you stop over-explaining, something interesting happens. People start revealing who they really are. Those who respect you will accept your boundary, even without a full performance. Those who only valued access, control, or convenience will become irritated, pushy, guilt-driven, or aggressive. And that reaction tells you everything. Silence is not empty. Silence is exposure. It removes the noise and shows you who can handle you being in control of you. That is why emotionally intelligent people do not rush to fill every uncomfortable pause. They let the silence do its work. Because when you stop explaining, others are forced to confront themselves. 5. Over-explaining comes from fear of rejection. At the root of over-explaining is usually this fear. If I don't explain enough, they'll think badly of me. But here is the truth. Some people will think badly of you no matter what you say. You could explain with logic, kindness, honesty, and patience, and they would still twist your words to fit the version of you they prefer. Why? Because people do not always judge you by truth. They judge you by their ego, their mood, their expectations, and what benefits them. Once you understand that, you stop trying to manage every opinion. You realize peace is more valuable than being perfectly understood. And that is a major shift in power. 6. Strong boundaries do not need long speeches. One of the most powerful habits you can build is giving short, clear responses without guilt. No drama, no long defense, no emotional collapse, just clarity. Examples: I'm not available for that. That doesn't work for me. I've made my decision. I'm not discussing this further. No. These phrases are powerful because they do not beg, they do not chase approval, they do not invite unnecessary negotiation. Many people struggle with this because they were taught that being firm is rude. But firmness is not cruelty, clarity is not aggression, and silence is not weakness. In many situations, it is self-respect. 7. Mystery creates respect. There is a reason calm, reserved people often seem more powerful. They do not reveal everything. They do not rush to explain every action. They do not hand out access to their thoughts for free. This creates presence. When people cannot easily read all of your emotions, intentions, and insecurities, they approach you more carefully. That does not mean becoming cold or fake. It means becoming disciplined. You do not need to let everyone inside your mind. You do not need to explain every choice. You do not need to defend every boundary. Some things become stronger when they are not overexposed, and your mind is one of them. 8. Silence helps you control emotion. Over-explaining usually happens in emotional moments. You feel accused, misunderstood, pressured, or cornered, and your mind starts racing. You talk too much because you want relief. You want control. You want the tension to end. But talking from emotional pressure usually creates worse outcomes. You reveal too much. You sound unstable. You give away your internal state. Silence, on the other hand, gives you time. Time to think. Time to regulate. Time to choose your words instead of spilling them. That pause protects your dignity. And in many situations, the person who controls the silence controls the interaction. 9. You teach people how to treat you. Every time you over-explain a boundary, apologize for your standards, or defend your right to protect your peace, you teach people that your no is soft. You teach them that pressure works on you. But when you speak clearly and stop there, you teach the opposite. You teach them that you mean what you say. You teach them that guilt won't move you. You teach them that your boundaries are not debates. And over time, that changes how people approach you. Respect is not only about what you say, it is about what you stop allowing. 10. Real power is calm, not loud. Many think power looks like domination, aggression, or always having the last word. But real power is often much quieter. It is the ability to stay composed when someone wants a reaction. It is the ability to walk away without explaining yourself into exhaustion. It is the ability to let people misunderstand you and still remain at peace. That is difficult, and that is exactly why it is powerful. Anyone can react. Few can remain centered. Anyone can argue endlessly. Few can speak once and stand on it. Anyone can chase approval. Few can release the need to be understood by everyone. That is silent power. The moment you stop over-explaining, you start reclaiming your energy. You stop performing for people who were never committed to understanding you. You stop giving away emotional access to those who have not earned it. And you stop treating your boundaries like requests. Remember this: not every question deserves an answer. Not every opinion deserves a defense. Not everyone deserves access to your reasons. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is less. Because power is not always in the words you use. Sometimes, power is in